Welcome to my Ethantastic vlog. This time, samahan niyo akong maglibot at mamangha sa bansang Tara na! Yalla yalla! Let's go! The journey officially started with me heading to Zayed International Airport in Abu Dhabi. I left my home early in the morning, excited but also a little nervous about traveling alone. The drive to the airport was smooth and the anticipation of this adventure kept me on my toes. It felt surreal knowing that in a few hours, I would be standing at the foot of one of the most iconic wonders of the world, the Pyramids of Giza. I was glad that everything was arranged for me by Patricia from Jani's travel agency in Abu Dhabi. She's been amazing, making sure every detail was handled, flights, transfers, hotel bookings, and everything. I'm honestly just here to enjoy the experience and soak it all in. So let's see what Egypt has in store for me. After a smooth check-in and quick flight, we landed in Giza, Egypt at Sphinx International Airport. The airport itself is relatively new, and it's a lovely gateway to Egypt's most famous historical sites. There is a sense of excitement in the air as you step off the plane. For UAE residents like me, having a valid Emirates ID that is over 6 months old makes the process super easy. The staff were incredibly friendly and efficient, and before I knew it, I was all set with my visa and heading to the baggage claim area. Once I had my visa sorted, I decided to pick up a local SIM card at the airport. It cost me around 500 Egyptian pounds, and it's been so helpful to stay connected during my trip. After that, I met up with my driver, who was waiting for me right outside. I was traveling alone, so the driver greeted me with a big smile and escorted me to a spacious van. It was less than an hour drive to downtown Cairo, but I didn't mind at all. This was my first glimpse of Egypt's unique atmosphere, and I couldn't help but feel excited about what was to come. After checking in at my hotel and resting for an hour, I was picked up by another driver, Bassem, and we headed towards the famous Giza Pyramids.
Can you say hi? Hi! Welcome to Egypt.
Thank you. Your name is Bassem, right?
Yeah.
Bassem. Cairo is a bustling, vibrant city. There's always something going on, and the streets are alive with energy. Along the way, we stopped to pick up Lubna, our tour guide, who would be accompanying me to the pyramids. She's a local, so she's full of knowledge about the history, culture, and everything else Egypt has to offer.
My name is Lubna. This is me, your tour guide today, okay? Okay, what's your name?
My name is Jonathan.
Jonathan.
So I'm from the Philippines, but I currently live in Abu Dhabi.
So you know Arabic ka?
Not really.
No.
Unfortunately. So I have a question because Basim was telling me that there's nothing inside the pyramids here in Giza. I mean, there are no hieroglyphics or symbols or paintings.
No. There's no any inscriptions. Only pyramid had inscriptions inside. Only pyramid exists in Saqqara. Pyramid of King Onas, the last king at the 5th dynasty, and also pyramid of King Teti, founder of the 6th dynasty. There is no any pyramid had inscriptions except the 2 pyramids, and the 2 pyramids exist in Saqqara, not here.
Okay. So, The conversation with her during the drive made the trip even more interesting as we drove past busy streets and saw all kinds of people, markets, and monuments along the way. Cairo and Giza are full of life, but the pyramids are the real heart of Egyptian history. When we finally arrived at the site of the Giza Pyramids, I was literally in awe. Lubna also shared some facts about the pyramids in Giza.
Some information about our history, about our pyramids. The main point for us is that our history began at 3500 BC. And during this time, we were separated kingdoms. Kingdom in the north and kingdom in the south. Every kingdom different from the other.
The Pyramid of Chops, or Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid, stood towering over me, and I couldn't help but be amazed by its size and grandeur. This is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and standing at the base of it felt like a surreal moment. Pharaoh Khufu commissioned the construction of this massive tomb, and over 2 million limestone blocks were used to create it. Just thinking about how long it took and the technology available at the time made it even more impressive. When I was still a student, it was a dream to kiss the pyramids of Egypt. And now that I'm here, I'm fulfilling it. I was even surprised when some Egyptian children approached us and asked if they can have a photo with me. Feeling celebrity yarn.
Egyptian kids. This is school trip. بسرعة. خلاص؟
The Pyramid of Khufu is the largest of the 3 pyramids on the Giza Plateau, standing at 146 meters or 480 feet tall. It was the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years until the modern skyscrapers were built. The pyramid is made of around 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks, each weighing several tons. The engineering behind it is mind-blowing, especially when you consider how the ancient Egyptians managed to build such a structure without the advanced tools we have today.
قول لهم هذا أكرم. أكرم. My name is أكرم.
Your name is Akram. Where are you from?
سعودية. سعودية.
Saudi. Okay, nice meeting you. Originally built as a tomb to ensure Pharaoh Khufu's safe journey to the afterlife, the pyramid was constructed with incredible precision. Each side is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. Inside the pyramid features several chambers, including the king's chamber, which once held Khufu's sarcophagus. The pyramid was originally encased in smooth white limestone, which reflected the sun's rays and made it shine brilliantly. Though much of the casing has been removed over time, the Pyramid of Khufu still stands a symbol of ancient Egyptian mastery. What struck me the most was the sheer scale of the pyramid. At 146 meters tall, it's hard to imagine how it must have looked when it was fully covered in smooth limestone and topped with a golden capstone. Lubna, my guide, told me that it would have been dazzling under the Egyptian sun. No matter how much you try to capture it with a camera, the Pyramid of Khufu is one of those things that truly takes your breath away in person. It dominates the landscape in a way that makes you feel like you're standing in the presence of something truly timeless. Next, we headed to the Pyramid of Khafre, the second largest pyramid in the Giza complex. While it is slightly shorter than the Great Pyramid of Khufu, it's no less impressive. Khafre, the son of Khufu, had this pyramid built just slightly off-center, giving it the illusion of being taller when viewed from certain angles. What really stood out to me was how some of the original smooth limestone casing stones are still visible at the top. It gave me a glimpse into what these pyramids must have looked like in their prime, shining brightly under the Egyptian sun. One of the most striking features of the Pyramid of Khafre is its close association with the Great Sphinx, which stands nearby. The Sphinx, with the body of a lion and the head of a man, is believed to represent Khafre himself. It's amazing to think that this massive sculpture was carved out of a single block of limestone to guard the pyramid and protect the pharaoh's tomb. The relationship between the Sphinx and Khafre's pyramid shows the symbolic connection between the pharaoh and the divine, highlighting how these structures were designed not only as tombs but also as powerful symbols of Egyptian authority. As I stood there, it became clear that Khafre's pyramid was not just a tomb, but also a statement of Egypt's evolving grandeur and influence. The pyramids were not just about the afterlife, they were about demonstrating the power and sophistication of Egypt at its peak. Every time I look up at the towering structures, I was reminded of the incredible legacy these pharaohs left behind, cementing Egypt's place as a cradle of civilization. One of the most thrilling experiences of the day was when we ventured into the Sahara Desert. I was given a traditional Bedouin headscarf to protect my face from the heat and sand. As it is wrapped around my head, I felt more connected to the landscape around me, like I was part of something ancient and timeless. The desert stretches endlessly in all directions, and it's easy to imagine how the ancient Egyptians would have viewed this vast, mysterious land. One of the highlights of the day was definitely the camel ride around the pyramids. Riding a camel has always been on my bucket list, and doing it here at the base of the Giza Pyramids was absolutely surreal. Camels are often called the sheep of the desert, and they have played an essential role in Bedouin life for centuries. For Bedouins, camels are not just a means of transportation, they are a way of life. They've been relied upon for trade, travel, and survival in the harsh desert environment, just as they were for the ancient Egyptians. My camel named Sultan was surprisingly comfortable, and as I settled in, I realized how this ancient mode of transportation allowed travelers to see the desert and the pyramids in a completely unique way. The way from atop a camel is one you'll never forget. As I rode around the pyramids, the scale and the beauty of these ancient structures became even more striking. You could see the pyramids from angles that you can't get on foot, and the sight of them rising out of the desert was just breathtaking. It was such a powerful feeling, imagining what it must have been like for the pharaohs and their people traveling across this vast desert on camels. The camel ride made me feel like a part of that ancient world, as though I was connecting with the past in a very real way. The Bedouins and ancient Egyptians understood the desert in a way we can only imagine, and camels were central to their way of life. Being able to experience that firsthand was really incredible. As I viewed the pyramids from afar, I couldn't help but be in awe for how beautiful the pyramids looked like in the background. The golden desert sands, the clear blue sky, and the massive structures that created an almost magical atmosphere. It was like stepping back in time, and I couldn't have asked for a more perfect way to experience the majesty of the Giza Pyramids. Are you okay?
Okay.
Our next stop was the Pyramid of Menkaure, the smallest of the three major pyramids at Giza. Built by Menkaure, the grandson of Khufu and the son of Khafre, this pyramid may be smaller in size, but it's no less significant in the history of ancient Egypt. It stands as a testament to the grandeur and spiritual importance of the pharaoh's tombs.
5 minutes only. Tomorrow.
As I stood there, I couldn't help but admire how the pyramids at Giza were aligned not just with each other but also with the stars, showing just how advanced their understanding of astronomy was at the time. It was incredible to think that these structures were built thousands of years with such precision. One of the most fascinating parts of the visit was going inside the Pyramid of Menkaure. The interior was narrow and steep, and as I carefully made my way down, I couldn't help but imagine how difficult it must have been to build these massive structures without the modern tools we have today. I felt like I was stepping back in time, connecting with the powerful rulers who were laid to rest there. It was an eerie and humbling experience, realizing that this was the final resting place of a pharaoh who had such a profound impact on Egyptian history. Menkaure's pyramid still stands as a powerful symbol of the Egyptian pharaoh's legacy. The mortuary temple and the causeway leading to the valley temple are key features of the complex, highlighting the scale and spiritual significance of this tomb. As I walk around, it was clear that even though Menkaure's pyramid was not the largest, it still represented the grandeur of the ancient Egypt and the continued evolution of its architectural and spiritual achievements. There were some theories why Menkaure's pyramid is smaller than the pyramid of his father and the pyramid of his grandfather Khufu. Some believed it's because of the lack of limestone when his pyramid was being built. However, according to some Egyptologists, the reason is that Menkaure is paying his respect to his father Khafre and his grandfather Khufu. That's why he decided to build a pyramid that is smaller than the pyramids of his father and his grandfather. After hours of exploring the pyramids and the desert, it's time to visit a papyrus center. We visited a papyrus center where I had the chance to learn about how the ancient Egyptians created papyrus paper. From the Philippines.
Welcome here. My name is Intisar. I'm local guide here. And I give you brief idea about the papyrus plant and how to make a paper out of it. Also, I tell you the stories about the painting. Can you see here? This is a papyrus plant. The ancient Egyptians discovered it on the riverbank 5,000 years ago and considered it a holy plant for 2 reasons. First, its flower look like the sun rays, symbol of the god Amura, god of the sun. Second, here it's the same. This is the same shape like the pyramid, symbol of eternity.
Okay.
After 1 week, we arrange the slices here between two sheets in horizontal and the vertical line. Two.
As a souvenir, I even bought a beautiful painting made from papyrus. The painting is of a king, fitting because that's my original nickname way back in the Philippines. It is so cool that my full name was also included in the form of hieroglyphics. Afterwards, Bassem and Lubna took me to a local restaurant in Giza for a late lunch. By this time, it was already dark, as it gets dark pretty early here around 5 p.m. I tried koshari, a traditional Egyptian dish made of rice, lentils, pasta, and tomato sauce, topped with fried onions.
Yeah, I like chili powder.
Yeah,
You like chili or hot sauce?
I can try that.
Okay, we can try.
It was delicious. We sat down together to eat, laughing and chatting about everything we'd seen so far. It's moments like this that make traveling so special. The people you meet, the food you eat, and the connections you make. Next, we stopped by a spices center. The staff there showed me all kinds of exotic spices, and I had the opportunity to smell and learn about them.
Shish kebab, steak, lamb, kofta, barbecue.
Okay.
For meat. Some for French fries.
I ended up buying a few spices to bring back home in Abu Dhabi. It is amazing how much flavor they pack into all kinds of jars.
I think it's the one that we
Yeah.
the one that we ate earlier.
One of the most exciting stops in Cairo was the Khan el Khalili Bazaar. This bustling, vibrant market is a maze of narrow alleys lined with shops selling everything from spices to jewelry, textiles, and souvenirs. As soon as you stepped into the bazaar, you are hit with a mix of scents, sounds, and colors. It is one of the oldest markets in the Middle East, dating back to the 14th century, and it still retains that old world charm. Walking through the market felt like stepping into a different time where merchants shout out to potential buyers, offering everything from intricately crafted lamps to hand-woven rugs and even antiques. What makes Khan el Khalili so special is not just the variety of items you can find, but the atmosphere. The market is always buzzing with activity. Locals shopping for daily needs, tourists like me haggling over souvenirs, and street performers adding to the lively vibe. Every corner you turn offers something new and unique, and it is impossible to leave without buying something. The shopkeepers are friendly, and the bargaining is part of the experience. It is a fun, interactive way to engage with the culture, and I found myself getting swept up in the energy of it all. Visiting Khan el Khalili was not just about shopping, it was about experiencing a piece of Egyptian history. This market has been a center of commerce, culture, and social life for centuries. It is a place where locals and visitors come together, sharing stories, goods, and experiences. It truly felt like I was witnessing the pulse of Cairo, and leaving with a unique souvenir felt like taking a piece of Egypt home with me. To cap off my first day in Egypt, I went on a Nile night cruise, and it was the perfect way to relax and reflect after an exciting day of exploring. Bassem made sure I had the best seat in the house right at the front of the boat so I could enjoy the stunning views of the Nile while watching the entertainment. As the boat sailed along the river, I could see the lights of Cairo twinkling in the distance, and the cool night air aided a sense of tranquility. It was a peaceful escape, letting me take in the city's beauty from a completely different perspective, far removed from the hustle and bustle of the streets. The highlight of the evening was the belly dancing performance. The dancer was incredible. Her movements were so fluid and graceful that it felt like she was part of the music itself. Her skill and precision left everyone in awe as she performed in front of the backdrop of Cairo's glowing skyline. After that, we were treated to a mesmerizing twirling dance. The performers spun around at dizzying speeds, creating a colorful blur of movement that was truly hypnotic to watch. It was an exciting and authentic cultural experience that really showcased the richness of Egypt's traditions. As the cruise came to an end, I stepped out onto the deck to enjoy the remaining views. The sight of the Nile at night with the city lights reflecting off the water was simply breathtaking. The peacefulness of the moment made it a perfect way to end my day, with the history of the river and the city surrounding me.
Do you coffee? What is that?
Espresso.
This one, the first one.
The Nile night cruise was a highlight of my trip, offering a unique and serene way to experience Egypt's timeless beauty, history, and culture. What an amazing first day in Egypt! Stay tuned for more as I continue exploring this incredible country. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.